Hello everyone, good evening. So in today's session we are going to discuss about Agile and Jira tool. So what is Agile and why Agile is important in the current days, and everyone is going behind this Agile model or a Scrum Agile process or a Scrum model, and how this Scrum model is going to work. So these are the different things which we are going to discuss here. So here what we do is, first I will explain you about Agile process. Then I will help you in registering the Jira tool. Even I will register that tool today in front of you, so even you can understand how you can register and you can practice on that. And then I will explain you how to use that particular tool. So after explaining that tool, I will also allow you to practice. If possible today you can practice on that tool, otherwise tomorrow the complete session or whatever the time you want you can spend and you can practice on that. Okay. So first let me explain what is Agile process and how the Scrum model is going to work here. Fine, Prasanna. Did you receive the mail? So did you get a mail from Micro Focus? So what you have to do is, there is a form which I have provided. In that particular form you have to fill all the details. Once you fill and submit the details, you have to receive a mail from Micro Focus. So if the server is under maintenance or if something is happening, you don't receive the mail, you have to wait and you have to register one more time. If you get the mail, then the process is easy. So they will give you a link, and if you click on that link, they will allow you to access that particular trial version in the web page itself. And also whatever the link I have provided, in that particular link, Sarika, whoever has registered in the webinar, for everyone I have sent, for almost 42 email IDs I have sent this mail, QC registration link and videos. So if you didn't receive it, please ping me your email ID. I will forward it to you one more time. Not a problem. Yes, Emma.
Yeah, how to fill this form up? I mean, they're asking the company name, your role, and first name, last name is fine, but what about the product we can help you with from the list below? So
You
what we
you
have to
can
check?
you can select or enter any kind of company name. Even SM system is fine. And role, you can randomly select one of the role. So they just want to track some information for their record purpose, nothing else. So once you register, they will send a mail. It's an automated, auto-generated mail. As I told you earlier, if the server is under maintenance and if they are doing some kind of maintenance activities, immediately you don't get the mail from Micro Focus. And in the same page, there is a chat option. So you can also try that option and you can talk to those customer care guys. And if your request is stuck somewhere, so they will clear it and they will allow you to, they will send the link to you. So once
I
you
mean,
receive the link,
there are multiple choices. What we have to select for the product?
did you
It's a
open that
service.
particular page now?
Yeah. I'm on the Micro Focus. Yeah, it's a page. Yeah.
Okay, okay, 1 second. Let me open that link here. I guess maybe we'll discuss at the end of the class about this particular tool, because there are few more students join only for this Agile and Jira class. So I will explain you how to fill this form and how to get the link. Is that fine with everyone?
Yeah, I'm okay with that, of course. Yeah.
Okay, sure. So let's continue with the Agile today. So what is Agile? The Agile movement, proposes alternative to the traditional project management. Agile approaches are typically used in the software development to help the business to respond to unpredictability. So previously, you might have seen different life cycle models, software development life cycle models, like waterfall model, V model, spiral model, so something like that. In that particular models, what is going to happen? Suppose if you take waterfall model itself. In the waterfall model, you have to plan each and everything in the beginning, then you have to go for development. So in waterfall model, you have different phases are there, like requirement, design, coding, testing, implementation. So if you want to develop something, at least 6 or 7 months before, or at least 1 year before, all the requirements should be frozen. Then the design is going to start. So design will take some time. Once the design is done, then the development is going to start. So at a time, only one phase will be under scope. So only one phase will be running at a single point of time. It's not like a parallel activity. So design, coding, requirements, testing, all these things will not happen in the parallel way. So once the complete requirements are gathered, then only the design is going to be done. Once the complete design is done, then only the coding is going to be started. Once the application is ready, then the testing is going to start. That means that if the client wants any kind of application, at least 6 to 12 months before he has to give the requirements. In the current environment, is it going to help? If you see, the customer needs are changing on daily basis, on weekly basis. Previously it was once you give some requirements, at least for 1 or 2 years, the end users are fine with that. But as I told you earlier, now the needs are changing monthly, weekly, and sometimes daily also. So I'll give you an example. So you might have seen online shopping applications, right? There are so many applications are there, online shopping applications are there. Take Amazon.com. And one more, maybe eBay. So eBay has declared a sale saying that, okay, next week by so and so time, we are going to start the sale. So please get ready. So that is the ad eBay has given. Now, Amazon guys have seen that ad. What Amazon has to do now? Even they have to start the sale at the same time. If they don't start the sale at the same time, then they will be losing the business. Or if they start, if it happens for 3 4 times, everyone will forget Amazon. So due to that, they came up with the different models. So if it is a waterfall model, is it possible for you for the Amazon.com to get ready within 1 week time? No. So if they go and say to their developer saying that, okay, by this time we have to start the sale, then the developer or someone will come and say, yeah, please wait 6 months, we will make it ready. By that time, eBay will complete at least 3 4 sales. That is the major problem. So with waterfall model or a V model, you cannot compete with the rivals, and it is not going to help daily activities, or it is not going to satisfy the customer needs which are changing on regular basis. So by considering all these problems, the experts came up with a new model called Scrum model. So Agile is the process, Scrum is the model which will be helping that Agile process. So this Scrum model will contain the following roles, and the roles are like product owner, team, Scrum master. So I will explain you in detail about all these things. So which I am talking about here, like product owner, team, and Scrum master. And during this Scrum meeting or during this Scrum model, the team will be conducting or team will be involving in different types of meetings. They are like backlog grooming, sprint planning, daily Scrum, sprint review, and sprint retrospective. So these are the different types of meeting which will be conducted during the sprint duration. So what are these meetings all about and what they are going to do? So I will show you in detail now. So if you want to understand this particular Scrum model in detail, I have found one small diagram, which is a standard diagram. Even if you go and search in the internet, you will find out that. So whenever they are talking about the Scrum or Agile, you will be able to see this particular diagram, whichever I am going to show now. And the diagram is this. Okay, so let me show you in detail. I'll make it little bigger now. Yeah, someone has a question. Let me answer it. Yes, Saima.
Yeah, I just want to ask, is Scrum is the abbreviation of something?
Um, I don't know about it. Maybe I'll check and I'll let you know.
Okay,
I
okay,
I
okay.
don't have uh, I don't know complete meaning of it. So normally, even in real life, everyone will be calling it as a Scrum, but it has some abbreviation or not? I don't know. I'll check and I'll confirm you tomorrow.
Sure, sure. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. And yes, Preeti, I will explain you in detail. So what is product backlog and what is product backlog grooming? So in this particular thing, everything you can understand. So there is a small diagram which is available here. So we'll talk about it. And at the end, if you have any more questions, I will answer them. Okay, yeah. So this is how the Scrum model is going to work. So here you can see different technical terms. So whatever the technical terms we are going to use in waterfall model, here they are different. And also you have to remember all these technical terms while explaining to some other person, normally in the interviews. So while explaining, you should not generally explain how it is going to work. So you have to use the technical terms whatever are documented here, like product owner, product backlog, scrum master, sprint, yeah, sprint planning meeting, and review, retrospective. So these are the different words which you have to use while explaining about this model to your interviewer, or whenever you talk about this particular model in real life. Otherwise they will not understand. So they might be knowing that you have some knowledge, but they cannot trust. So that's the reason, kindly use these terms. And also I will explain you about each and every term now in detail. If you have any questions, please let me know. So here the product owner is responsible for collecting the requirements from different sources like end users, customers, teams, and other stakeholders. So in other models, the product owner will be called as BA, but here the same person will be called as product owner. So what are his roles? His role is to collect the requirements from different sources. So in the top, I have mentioned some of the sources like end users, customers, teams, and other stakeholders. Stakeholders are nothing but whoever is responsible for that particular project. It can be anyone who are directly or indirectly related to that particular project. Maybe they might be also having some kind of information and requirement. So you should find out everyone and you should talk to them, and then you have to document that information. And once he collects all the requirements, and he is also responsible for keeping all these requirements in the priority order. Priority means some requirements, so he will be, everyone will be giving different requirements. So he will first collect everything and he will keep in the one of the document or maybe in one of the tool like Jira, and later he has to prioritize. If he doesn't prioritize, what is going to happen? The development team cannot understand which requirement needs to be developed first and which requirement needs to be developed later. So to avoid that confusion, he has to keep all the requirements in the sequence, and that list of requirements, the prioritized requirements, will be called here as product backlog. So the product owner will be preparing the product backlog here. Clear? So Okay, so Sana has a question here. Who is going to be the product owner? Product owner normally can be BA. Sometimes, if in nowadays the meanings are changing in real life in projects, even any senior member in the project also can become a product owner. And this particular person always will be interacting with the end users and other sources from where he can collect the requirements. But normally, if the BA role is already there, and that particular person will be converted as product owner. Okay. Yeah. Yes, Momita.
Yeah, Aditya, I just wanted to ask you, like, in the agile process, people say that the documentation is very less. Okay, so as a BA, I mean, what are the documents that a BA will not be writing, or, or maybe it is lessened in the diagrams or something? I mean, how is it less from the traditional method?
Documentation less in the sense, maybe the design documents will be reduced, the test case design documents will be reduced, but the basic requirement should be documented. There is no other way to skip that. So normally in this particular model, the requirements will be called as user stories. So in every user story, the client expectation will be documented. Without that, even the development team cannot develop everything. So what they do, they will be writing 1 or 2 lines of statements here, and as part of grooming sessions, the product owner will be explaining about that particular requirement in detail to the testing team members and development team members. So the complete documentation cannot be avoided. And previously what was happening, you have requirements and the testing team will be preparing hundreds of test cases, but here that is not going to be the case. So within a small duration, the testing and development both should be completed. So that's the reason, by based on the user story, they will be trying to complete the testing. And for every user story there will be a acceptance criteria in the sense, if that is met, then only that particular user story will be accepted by the product owner or the end users. So this is going to happen for every 1 week or 2 weeks. We'll talk about it, but complete documentation cannot be avoided here also. Some information should be there, but the number of documents what we are going to prepare
Okay,
will
okay,
be
Aditya,
reduced.
thank you.
Yeah. So once the product backlog is ready here, then the team. Who is team? So previously in other models, team means either it will be a development team or it will be a testing team. But here, team is nothing but both testers and developers together. So what they are going to do here? So they are responsible for complete project development. That means whether the project is successful or a failure. So previously what was happening, the development team will blame testing team and the testing team will blame the development team. But here they have to take the responsibility as a whole. So whether someone doesn't work or whether someone is working, so because of that, if the project is successful, the credit goes to everyone. And also there is no possibility to escape from the work here. Going forward, I will explain you about it also. And another thing is, what the team does here, they will be planning on their own and they will be selecting the requirements or user stories whichever they want to develop during the next few days. But in waterfall model, that was also another problem. So they will not consider, the management will be deciding what the team has to develop and team has to test, and the management will not consider how much experience the team has and whether someone is on leave or whether every person has the same knowledge level or not. So all these things will not be considered in other models, but here in this particular scrum model, the team will decide what they want to develop based on their knowledge levels. So that's the reason they will be conducting 2 levels of meeting here. One is sprint planning one, and the other one is sprint planning meeting 2. Okay, already someone has a question. Fine stuff. Anyways, here I am covering everything one more time so you can understand this. And after explaining this process, I will be explaining about Jira tool. So you should understand what exactly sprint and what exactly the Scrum model is. Then only you will be able to use that particular tool easily. That's the reason I'm explaining here. Okay, let me, Kanina, let me explain about this sprint, and then I will answer your questions. So in sprint planning meeting 1 and sprint planning meeting 2, what is going to happen? Now the product owner has created the product backlog and all the requirements are there in sequence, right? Or in the priority order. Priority order in the sense, as per the end user expectations, which requirement needs to be developed first and which requirement needs to be developed later. That list is already prepared. Now, as part of sprint planning meeting 1, what the development team is going to do, or what the team is going to do is, they will sit in one room, all testers and developers, including product owner and scrum master, all will sit together and they will pick one by one requirements from the top, right? And then they will discuss about that particular requirement. So whether they understood that complete requirement or not, and if something is not clear, anyways the product owner will be there, he should clarify the doubts. And they will also think about technical feasibility, whether technically we can implement that or not. So many factors they will think, and then they will do one round of estimation. So here it is not like one person job. Previously only manager or project lead was deciding whether how much time it is going to take, but here that is not the case. Every team member has to involve and they have to say how much time they are expecting to develop that particular user story, because we don't know who is going to work on that particular requirement. So if everyone has the same knowledge levels and if everyone understood the functionality very well, then they can estimate in the same way. If someone doesn't have idea, there is a chance that someone will take more time, someone will take less time. So to avoid that confusion, to give the complete idea, this sprint planning meeting 1 will be conducted. So what they do, they will take the first requirement from here in the top. So once they pick first requirement, and the product owner will explain what is that requirement about. So they will explain what is that requirement about. So once they explain, what is the next step they do is, each team member has to give the estimation number. Say the first person will say that I will take 5 hours time to develop this particular requirement, and person 2 will say no, I will take 10 hours, and person 3 will take say he will take maybe 3 hours. So everyone will give his estimation or her estimation. So once it is given, then the person whoever has given less hours and person whoever has given more hours, they have to explain why it is going to take less time and why it is going to take more time, right? So everyone will listen that conversation, and maybe the person whoever has given 2 hours time, he will say that, so I felt like everything is already in place, we have to just add some more lines of code and we have to do a small testing so that it will be done. And the person whoever has given 15 hours, he will say that no, already code is there, but still for this particular functionality everything needs to be developed, and if you test something here it may impact somewhere else, we have to take care of that. So there are so many things they will be discussing here, and while discussion is going on, all the other team members whoever are there in that particular meeting also will explain or uh, will explain their views, and whatever the information they have, maybe they will also share that information. So once all the information is explained or gathered, they will go for one more round of estimation. As everyone has same knowledge now, everyone has same knowledge. So they will be giving the proper estimation now. So maybe everyone will give 5 or 6 hours in real time. So in the beginning itself, they are understanding the requirement and they are concluding that, okay, this is going to take this much time. And later, anyone can pick this user story and they can start working on that. But previously, that was not the case. In waterfall model, as I told, someone will give the estimation. Maybe the person who has very less experience, who is fresher, if he gets that requirement, instead of spending 5 hours time, he will be spending 20 hours time because he doesn't know anything, and also he doesn't get any kind of help from team members in that other models. Okay, is it clear what is sprint planning 1? Any questions now? Okay, someone has a question, let me answer it. Yes, Ragini.
So product backlog is kind of requirement in waterfall model is the same thing, or what is?
Yes.
Okay.
So here we will be calling these requirements as user stories.
Okay.
In this agile model, the requirements will be called as user stories. That is the only difference. The naming conventions are changed. So even
Okay.
in interviews, suddenly someone asks you, did you work on any user story? You have to say yes. User story is nothing but the requirement.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. It's not like voting. So they will be providing their views. Everyone has an opportunity to provide their views, Priya, here. So instead of deciding one person, everyone will give their views and everyone will decide together here. That's the advantage. Okay, so Pradanya, let me find out your name here in the list. You can also raise your hand. Yeah, you can speak now.
Yeah, hi, thanks. I just wanted to confirm something under the product backlog, the user stories based on the timelines. Can the user story then can it be changed in terms of priority based on the sprint planning meeting?
Sorry, could you please explain one more time?
So my question was that based on the team's sprint planning in terms of the timelines, do the user stories get changed in terms of prioritized, like which one then they need to go? I was just trying to correlate it with the example that you gave earlier about eBay and Amazon. Like one of them is doing the sale, and if somebody else, the competitor, wants to match up, and if the timeline.
Yeah, so definitely the user stories will be prioritized after every sprint. So it depends on that particular week or particular I mean duration, user requirements. So the always the user stories will be prioritized, and that list will be always changed by the product owner. So even that Jira tool, whatever the tool I am going to explain now, that tool also will support you doing that activity in very easy way.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Because suppose as I told, they have some requirements to start the sale.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, are you able to hear me? Is it audible now?
Yeah, I mean, I can hear you.
Okay, so there was some problem, so I had to change my network, so I changed it. Sorry for the inconvenience. So any other questions, Pradanya? Did I
No,
answer
thank
you?
you.
Okay. Okay, fine. So let's continue. So now the sprint planning 1 is over. In sprint planning meeting 1, the team has decided what functionalities they have to develop in that particular duration, in the small duration time. So there might be around 100 user stories are there in the product backlog. Out of that, they might have selected around 10. And as part of sprint planning meeting 2, what they do is they will be identifying the subtasks to develop that particular user story. So for every user story, what are the different activities they have to perform, that they will be identifying. For example, as a tester, what activity the testing team has to do to complete the testing for a particular requirement or a user story. For example, okay, the tasks are going to be like, the testing team is going to plan for the testing, they will design the test cases, they will be executing the test cases, they will be reporting the defects. In the same way, even developer has to identify their task and they have to document here in very clear way. So in waterfall model, we don't see such kind of things. They don't identify anything. They will pick one requirement and they will start working on that. So they don't know when they are going to complete that. Okay. So until unless they complete, they will not able to understand how much time it is going to take. But here in the beginning itself, the discussion is going to happen, and based on their idea, at least some rough estimation will be given for that, and also they will be identifying the subtask. So previously in waterfall model, once one developer started working on a particular requirement, none of the other people will be using or will be working on that. But here that is not the case. So different developers and testers can parallelly work on one requirement or one user story here. So that's the reason they will be dividing everything into small subtasks, and they will share and they will try to complete it. And here the testing is going to happen whenever the development is done. For example, one user story is developed, immediately that particular user story will be tested by the testing team members. If you go to waterfall model, so all the requirements should be developed, and then only the testing team is going to work on that particular application. But here that is not the case. If they take 10 requirements and the first requirement is whenever it is developed, immediately the testing team will complete the testing for that. So that's the process here. What about sprint planning meeting 2? Is it something that happens in the end of review sprint? That's the question asked by Preeti. So till now, whatever I have spoken, that is all about the sprint planning 2, Preeti. So in sprint planning 2, they are going to identify the subtasks to complete a particular requirement. As I told, as a tester, I have to do the following activities like test case design, execution, defect reporting, and also developer has to do some kind of activities. So all that activities will be added as a subtask for a particular user story. So those are the activities which will be taken care in sprint planning meeting 2. Okay. So Priya has a question here. Different developer means the development work is divided in sprint planning. Yeah, developers work. So instead of if so even developer has to do multiple activities to complete to develop a particular functionality. So they may have to design something and they have to write the code and they have to do some kind of unit testing. These are the different activities what developer has to do it there. So that will be added as a subtask, and there is a possibility that all 3 tasks can be done parallelly also. So instead of only one person will be working on a particular task, if 3 or 4 persons works on the same time, that particular user story will be completed. Maybe for some user stories it is not possible. For most of them, yes, there is a possibility to work parallelly on a particular user story. So one person, by the time one person create the design, some other person will try to understand the design and they will complete the coding, and one more person does some kind of unit testing. I'm just giving an example. In real time, there is a possibility that some kinds of work can be done parallelly. That's what I'm trying to say here. I'm just, maybe my example might be wrong, but whatever the activities can be done parallelly, for that they will be adding some subtasks and then they will be executing them. And Raj has a question here. How about if in sprint 1 have more severity 1 and severity 2 defects, will the sprint 2 will be postponed and sprint 1 time get extended? Good question. So I will explain you this at the end, Raj. If I forget, please remember me. So by the end I complete everything, you will be able to understand about it. So Priya, is it clear or still any confusion? Okay. Um, okay, then we will have sprint backlog, which will be covered in sprint 2. I didn't understand, Priti, your question. So let me unmute you. Oh, then you can ask me. There is a link. Ah, okay. So you are just answering. Okay, fine. Anyways, we'll talk about it later. Now, what is going to happen? What is done now? Product backlog. Product owner has created the product backlog, and team has done with planning 1 and planning 2 meetings. The next step is sprint. So guys, give me 1 minute, please. Yeah, sorry. So the list of requirements, whatever they have choose here or whatever they have selected during the sprint planning 1 and sprint planning meeting 2 will be called here as sprint backlog. So if product backlog has 100 requirements, the sprint backlog will be having around 10 or 8 to 10 requirements, whatever they have selected during the planning 1 and planning 2 meetings. Now the sprint backlog is ready. What is the next step? The sprint is going to start. What is sprint means? Sprint is nothing but it's a duration. It can be minimum 1 week time, or it can be minimum, it can be 4 weeks time max, or sometimes it can be extendable, it can be customized also. But normally the ideal sprint duration will be 2 weeks time. So if you have short durations, you will be getting the feedback from the end user on very regular basis. If you have a big duration, a longer duration, then the feedback also you will get little late, and you may have to do a lot of rework also. So to avoid that problem, most of the companies will choose the duration, the sprint duration as 2 weeks. The sprint can be called as a round or a iteration, or you can call it with any name. So it is nothing but a duration here. Okay. So once you decide the duration for the first sprint, say for the first sprint you have decided to have 2 weeks time, and later that duration should not be changed. Sometimes some people, what they do, they will make it as 4 weeks, and again they will come back to 1 week, they will go for 2 weeks. So they will be changing on regular basis. That is not the best practice. And also, why it is not a best practice, it is difficult to predict when the project is going to be completed. So if you know, if you have the same duration for every sprint, so you can get at least a rough estimation. Okay, so in every sprint these many user stories we are developing, so by this time to complete, by the end of this particular sprint these many user stories will be completed, so maybe 1 or 2 will be left. So that kind of estimation can be done in very easy way here. Okay, so that's all about the sprint means. During this sprint, on daily basis, there will be a meeting conducted called daily scrum meeting. What is daily scrum meeting means? You will not see this kind of meetings in any other models. This is exclusively for scrum model. So in this daily scrum meeting, all the team members will be joining here, like testers, developers, product owner, scrum master. Scrum master is a person, normally a senior person in the team, who will be or facilitating the team members. Previously, the same person will be called as project lead or a project manager. And here the master doesn't have so many roles. His responsibility is to facilitate the team members. Like if the team members have any kind of issues, he should go and resolve those problems behalf of them. So instead of the team members will go and resolve their own problems, this guy has to help them. And also if the team has any technical or functional related issues, even that should be resolved. And sometimes the environments will be down, sometimes the requirements will not be given properly, sometimes that they don't get the clarifications. So all these things should be taken care by this particular person, and the team members will be concentrating more on the project development part, and the scrum master will be taking care of the remaining project related stuff. Okay, someone has a question, let me answer it. So whenever the new, Momita has a question here. Sprint planning part 1 and part 2 happens before every sprint. So during the sprint, whenever the new sprint starts, so sprint planning 1 and sprint planning 2 is going to happen. Okay. And this planning 1 and planning 2 will not happen for longer duration. So sprint planning 1 may take an hour and sprint planning 2 may take 1 more hour. They don't spend too much time on discussion or estimation. Clear, Momita? How many user stories in one sprint? So that should be decided in sprint planning 1 meeting, Karina. So the team will decide. No one will decide how many user stories will be there in every sprint. Suppose they have 80 hours are there for all the team members together. And for user story 1, if they estimate 8 hours or maybe 10 hours, they have another 70 hours time left. So for 70 hours, how many user stories they can take, that many they will take. So based on the estimation, they will be deciding here. There is no standard number. There is a possibility that sometimes they will be taking 20 user stories also if they are small, if they don't take much time. Sometimes there is a possibility that they will be taking only 2 or 3 user stories if they are complex and if they are going to time consume more. So in such cases, the number of user stories will be reduced. So there is no standard number for user stories. And how does the product owner allot user stories to the team member, or how does he select particular team member for the particular user story? So here no one will assign any user story or task to any of the team members. That is the team members' responsibility to take voluntarily whatever they want to develop here. So if some task is in pending state, immediately they have to go and pick and work on that. So product owner doesn't have any kind of authority to assign tasks to them. Product owner responsibility is just to collect the requirements or user stories and keep them in the priority. And if any changes are required, that needs to be done by him. He will not assign any kind of task to the team members. Clear, Josna? Priya has a question. So Scrum Master can be anyone from the meeting or outsider? No, he will be part of team. As I told in other models, waterfall model and all, he will be a project lead or something. And project lead or project manager has so many responsibilities that time, and they can assign the task. They will decide what the team has to develop and work. But here, Scrum Master doesn't have that many roles. He is like a facilitator. He has to help the team members if they have any issues, and he has to make sure that the sprint is running smoothly. That is the only responsibility he has. Is it clear, Priya? Any other questions from anyone? Okay, Pradanya has a question here. So what role does BA have as everybody pitches in? So here, as I told, in a particular time, if your BA is there, BA will be called as a product owner. He will be interacting with the end users and stakeholders. If BA is not there, some senior member will be selected as a product owner and he will be taking care. Who will coordinate team? So the coordination will be taken care by the Scrum Master. Product backlog includes requirements for only one sprint for all sprints. So all requirements will be collected. So that's what in Scrum model or in the Agile process, there is no standard rule. Suppose in the beginning, the client might have given 100 requirements or 100 user stories. At any point of time, that number of requirements can be changed or some things can be deleted or removed. So there is high possibility for that. Because whatever is required now, after 1 month, maybe the end user might not be needing it. So that requirement needs to be removed immediately from the product backlog. But in waterfall model, that's not the case. So they will give 100 requirements after 1 year, whether it is required or not, they had to take it. But here the end user can say what is required, what is their need now, and what is changing on regular basis. Accordingly, the product backlog also can be changed. So when we say assign the Scrum Master, decide who is doing what. So what is that? I didn't understand, Priya. So when we say Scrum Master decide who is doing what, Scrum Master also will not decide anything here. He is just a facilitator. While working on a particular user story, or if the team has some kind of issues, only that problems he will be resolving it, or he will be coordinating with different teams, development, testing, or maybe there are so many other teams, infrastructure team, environments, operation. So with all these guys he will be interacting and he will be solving the problems if they have any. So here no one will assign any task to any developer or tester. So they have to pick their user stories and they have to start working on that. Everyone will take the responsibility in this model, unlike waterfall model. In waterfall model, if you have 10 team members are there, 5 will be working and 5 will be enjoying, because no one is there to see what others are doing. But here that will be avoided because of the Scrum meeting, daily Scrum meeting. And this particular meeting also will be called as stand-up meeting. And on daily basis, this is going to happen in real life during the sprint time. So if your sprint is for 2 weeks duration, that means you have around 10 working days will be there. On daily basis, this Scrum meeting will be conducted. And in this stand-up meeting or Scrum meeting, every team member will stand together in one location. And the duration of this Scrum meeting is going to be maximum 15 minutes. It should not be extended more than that. What is the use of this Scrum meeting or stand-up meeting? The main thing is everyone why they stand here is, if they sit and start discussing, the discussion will go for hours and hours. So if they stand and start doing something, at least they will be aware that okay, they had to do something. So that's the concept why they have introduced it. And the duration also should not be more than 15 minutes. And during this stand-up meeting, every team member has to explain what he has done or she has done yesterday and what they are planning to do today. So this is the important thing which they are going to discuss as part of this particular meeting, right? So what they do, everyone has to explain, and no one can escape from the work because of this particular meeting. Because today, suppose I am also one of the team member. Today I'll go and say that I'm working on so and so user story, and tomorrow also I can say the same thing. And third day, if I say the same thing, then everyone will question me, why you are spending so much time on one requirement. Then I will go and say, no, I have this so much big problem, so that's the reason I'm spending too much time. Then everyone will question me again, why you didn't say that problem yesterday? I have the solution, I would have given that solution to you. So that is the major important thing here. So as whenever you get some kind of problem, you should explain that problem in this particular meeting, so that if any other person has solution, immediately that solution will be given to you. So there might be a person who has already worked on the same kind of functionality, he might have faced the same kind of problem, he will give you the solution immediately so that you can resolve it instead of wasting time. But due to some bad intention, if you try to avoid the work, then you will be caught. You cannot avoid or skip from the work here. That is a major thing. But if it's a waterfall model, there was no meeting conducted like this. So because of only few people, the project will be running in the waterfall model. Out of 10, maybe 5 will be working and 5 will be enjoying. And because of that, only few people have to work extended hours and they have to face the lot of pressure from the management. Whoever is not working, always they will be enjoying on their phone. But here, no one can escape from the work. That is the major important thing. Yeah, Karina has a question here. So people working on Agile cannot work from remote locations. Yes, they can work from remote locations also. That is not a problem. But in that particular daily Scrum meeting, everyone has to join through phone, or somehow they should join and they can interact together. It is not like you cannot work from remote locations. That is possible. Okay. Any other questions? Do you have any questions in daily Scrum meeting? So Reshmi has a question here. Is BA role comes under product owner to document the requirements that already gathered by the product owner? Yeah, so that's what I told. BA will be called as a product owner in the Scrum model. If BAs are already not there in that particular team, as I told, any senior person who has some good knowledge on that particular domain will be selected as a BA, product owner, and he will be interacting with the end users. If the BA role is already there and you are in the like waterfall model, and you are going from waterfall model to you are going to Scrum model, then the BA will be called as a product owner here. Clear, Reshmi? What if don't enough information on the particular module to provide my points? Yeah. So that is the product owner responsibility to give the complete information about. Did everyone understood the question given asked by the Raj here? So his question is, what if I don't have enough information on the particular module to provide my points? He is talking about sprint planning 1. So that is the product owner responsibility to give the complete information about a user story. If he doesn't have, if he is not able to give the complete information, the product owner is not able to give the complete information, the team members will be giving more points for uncertainty. They don't know how the requirement is going to work, but the end user told that by the end of the sprint it should be developed, but that the product owner or the team members doesn't have complete information. In such cases, they will be adding more points or more hours for uncertainty. And during the sprint, the product owner will be interacting more with the end user, and he will collect more information and he will give it to the team members. So that's how it is going to be done. And Stravs is asking, does the review is done by all of them who are involved? Yeah, that is the next step, Stravs. I will be explaining you.